confused. Um, okay, so there's two. So this one, this is not like a official behind the scenes, but people who were on set recording it from behind. Okay, so it's hard to see here, but yes, they used a rope. Um, and it was actual feel. It wasn't CGI. Um, but I actually thought it was CGI originally too, because the body movements at the end, how they like trampled in the ball. But it's a rope. That's a really thin rope, and that's how they like make those flying movements. And then yeah, crane that they use. And it's on a pulley. It's on a car. So they basically drive it, and then they run through this. They're driving through this. They actually practice the motions beforehand. Like this is the rehearsal. So it looks kind of fun, honestly. But uh, yeah, they had to get the motions down, and then yeah, I think the helicopters use drone shots. Those like aerial shots. But in terms of their motion, there was a rope on this cart, and they were just moving through it. Yeah, yeah. So they were running through. They just edit those ropes out, and then let me just show this last part, this last perspective. So that was the crane that was carrying them, moving them. Then they were on a cart with the camera following them. Yeah, and that's how they did it. Um, I thought it was cool, cool concept for a fashion company. Yeah. Well, if you see here, like it's a crane moving, like it's moving with them. So my guess is that they let me see the shot where it comes up right here. So my guess is that this is the crane here that holds the string that's pulling all four of them, and it's moving. I don't know if it's on a like they're moving. But how does it seem like they're flying? Like, well, first off, they give the motions of them feeling like they're flying, so it looks like they want to make it as realistic as possible, even though it's not real. But like they give off the motion. That's why those motions were important to make it seem like they're flying. And then they just like cut the wires out, like they edited it out. But like the motions make it seem like they're flying because if they were just on that string or just sitting there, it wouldn't look. It was obviously they're on a string, but those motions create that like flying motion, and then they just cut the string, edit the strings out in post production, so it looks like they're fine. But the camera work, all of that plays together to make the scene look like that. It's not just the actors or the person moving the crane; it's the camera work too. Makes it it's gliding with them and stuff. So all of that plays together to give that effect. Um, so yeah, yeah, and like if you think about it, it's not that much work that went into this. If you think about it, maybe like a lot of money, but in terms of like manpower, you just need the actors, somebody to move the crane, a cameraman, a director, maybe some other assistants, and like a safety person, like a medic or something in case somebody falls. But that's really it. Like, uh, it's not as big as a team. Maybe like makeup and stuff, but like in terms of crew, not that much. So yeah, that was a video. Every week I'll try to find a cool one and break it down and see what you guys think. But that was one I really liked. Let's go back. So today, we're jumping to CapCut and play with that a little bit, see some stuff with that, and yeah. All right. So if you guys open up CapCut, this is CapCut. It looks like this like white box with this. I actually don't know what that is. I think that's like a vintage camera, that black icon. Just click CapCut. So you should get this screen. It should be empty, but this is what it should look like. Everybody have this screen? Anybody now on CapCut? Still downloading? All right. Okay, that's fine. Once it's done, just join. We're not gonna go really, really deep into it, but um, yeah. So this is the CapCut workspace. So when you use it, if you guys ever use any other video editing software like Premiere Pro or Final Cut Pro, or probably not Sony Vegas, but like any of those other video editing softwares, it looks kind of different than CapCut. In my opinion, CapCut is the easiest, but also most advanced video editing software today, because they incorporate so much stuff now, like just crazy, and you can do all that for free. That's another plus. A lot of people download CapCut because it's a free app. If you guys ever use Adobe software like Photoshop, Illustrator, any of that stuff, you pay $69 a month to do all that stuff. But for this, it's free. Now they do have a pro version for $9 a month, and I'd say it's worth it depending on how much you edit or how much you're interested in. But $9 a month is my opinion is better than all the other video editing softwares out there. Um, you can just do so much that I'm still learning. I'm like, wow, you can do that. So CapCut is definitely the software to go. So yeah, I just want to put that out there. That's just a very advanced software. It's crazy that it's free right now. It probably won't be free for long because it's so good. But so yeah, this is CapCut. This is the workspace. As soon as you open CapCut, you don't have anything right now, but your save, your most recent or saved projects will be here. So these are all the projects I've kind of worked on. Um, and they'll pop up here. Yours should be blank because you don't have anything yet. And you should see this big create button. And if you click that, that's how you start a project. We won't click it yet, but it's all straight to the point. There's no hidden buttons, no, what does this do? It's all straight to the point. And another cool thing that you'll realize later is that, let's say this happens to me countless times. Like I would be editing something and my computer dies and my project is completely gone. I didn't save it. And the thing with other videos editing software is you have to save constantly. So I've edited wedding videos, all types of videos, and somehow my computer died or something, all gone. And I had to start from the beginning. But the reason that happened because I didn't save it. And sometimes I forget, right? But with CapCut, you don't even have to save it. It saves every action automatically. So if you're working on something, your computer dies or the power goes out in the middle of a storm or something just happens, it's saved. You don't have to worry about, dang, did I save that? It's already saved. So that's another reason why like CapCut, you don't have to think as much in terms of like saving and like exporting and stuff. It already knows that. So I'm confused why other video editing softwares don't just have automatic save versus having to remind yourself, oh shoot, let me save this. That's a hassle. You don't want to have to worry about that. You want to just work on a project and have it saved automatically. So that's another reason why this is a plus, and you'll see why the more you edit projects, one like you may come across an instance where your computer dies on you or you exit automatically. You're like, dang, my project, but you don't have to worry about that because it's saved automatically. So that's something that has saved me a lot, and it probably will save you. So that's another cool thing. CapCut. What else? So they have this thing in CapCut called Spaces, um, which is basically like a folder. So right now mine is Asante Hayes' space, um, but you can create your own space. So if you press create, you can create a space. So I can name this Asante Hayes space 2. Okay. So now I have a space and I can send this. This is another cool thing. You can send your project to people and they can jump in the software and edit with you. And That's never been done before. So this makes it good to collaborate with people. So let's say you two are like two people are working on a project. Just say, here's the link to my project, jump in, edit it. Or hey, here's the link to mine, jump in and edit it. So that's really cool. So um, that's another thing. And then your spaces are located here. These are all your spaces. So you have one by default when you first open it. Um, but I would just start at the home right here to begin with. But that's what the spaces are. Those are basically separate projects that you can share and invite people and have them join your project, which is really cool. So yeah, let's just jump into it. Like I said, you can invite friends. Yeah. So all the other stuff, not much else, but we can just do press create project, and then everybody press create project. This is the workspace. So you may see that in like this seems like a lot. What is all these windows, buttons, icons mean? That's how it was for me when I first started editing. I was confused. I'm like, it seems like a lot. I don't know what any of this stuff does or what anything, how things work together, but that's fine. The more you work with it, you'll see how easy it gets. Because everything's very, like, it's only so much you can learn in here. And so once you start practicing and start doing it, it's going to be muscle memory, I promise. Like, it's going to literally be like riding a bike. Like, people always use that comparison, but it's true because there's not that much to do. Like, once you learn all these tools, at that point, it's just up to you to use those tools to create a project. But like it's only 4 tools: select, split, select forward, select rightward. That's it. And other editing software, there's like 20 of them. But CapCut, you only have 4 that you have to learn. And the rest of the stuff is just figuring out how to put it together. So very simple, very straight to the point. Um, so yeah, this is the CapCut workspace. If you let's say in the future you use another video editing software, you'll see it's very similar. So when you learn CapCut and let's say you learn a new software, you'll see it's very easy to transfer over because they all share a similar workspace. They all have windows, they all have a timeline, they all have tools. So that's another thing. The more you learn about this software, the easier it is to transfer that knowledge to other software, even music software like Logic or Ableton or Pro Tools, all that stuff basically follow the same kind of format and way. There's obviously some differences, but for the most part, the workspace is the same. So you'll see that it's very easy to transfer that information if you use other softwares. So here's the workspace, right? So initially, you'll have all these boxes and they're labeled and they're pretty straight to the point, right? So if you click import, this is how you import footage. So in CapCut, you can import 3 kinds of files. You can import a video, you can import a picture, or you can import an audio. So that could be an interview, a song, a narration, anything like that. So those are the 3 different files you can import. And it won't even let you import anything else. So if I click import, see how it's a zip file right here? It's grayed out. I can't even bring it in here. And this is why knowing file names are important, which is boring, but it's important. Like PDF files, you can't bring a PDF in a video editing software, right? So it's grayed out for a reason. You can't bring those in. But photos, so like .jpegs, if you ever heard of a JPEG file, that's like a photo file, or MP4, MOV. We'll talk about that more. But those files you can bring in. So let's bring in some stock footage. So everybody in CapCut, you should have stock footage to work with. So even if you don't have any footage in CapCut, there's stock footage. So if you click stock material under spaces, so make sure you're in the import window right here, click stock material, and this is sample footage for you to work with. So obviously at the end, you guys will be getting your own footage to make your project, but just to work with the software and play around with it, you do have sample footage to work with. So we got green screen sample footage when we talk about green screen. We got credits, titles, all types of stuff. So I should have the pro version. I don't know why it's showing this, but basically another thing too, we will be getting you the pro version. But right now, since we have the free version, some of these things you'll see it says pro next to it. That means it's only can only be used for the pro version. So you can use it in here, but you can't export this out because they want you to buy it. So you can use it and preview it and cut it up, but when it comes to actually saving it and using it, like saving it and downloading it, they won't let you. They're gonna say you have to download Pro because they want you to get the Pro version. So there's certain things you can't do yet because you don't have the Pro yet, but there's still a lot we can work with. But for the sake of this, just drag some footage in here. So I'll show you how to do it. So I'm gonna drag these two clips. It's like these wedding clips. You should have these too if you want to just follow me. So it's very simple. Click and drag. So all we did was drag our clip and bring it to our timeline. And I'll explain what that means and what that looks like. So up here is where all our files will be stored. So we were just in our stock material. So here's the stock footage that we have. But once you get your own footage from home, you're going to import it like this. So you're going to go to device, import this plus right here. You can see it says videos, audios, and images. Click that. If you click it, you won't have anything because these are the computers for the classroom. So I don't think there are any video files on here. But I do have a few on my laptop. So again, make sure you're in the import tab, click this import, and now you can access your files. So let me see if I have any files. So okay, I have this like gamer clip. So let's say I want to bring this in. Great. Import. Now we see our video in our project window. So this is our project window. This is where all our files will be. This is where all our videos, photos, audio, all will be stored here. So again, if we just drag it to our timeline. Again, you don't have that, but it's the same process with the stock footage. So if you go to stock, still under right here, same idea. Click it and drag it. And what we just did, we dragged our footage to our timeline. And so our timeline is where we'll actually be making our edits, right? We'll be cutting here, we'll be doing everything here. And you see how you can see what you're watching, what you're editing up here. So this is your view window. So anything that I see down here or that I'm moving over, you see how I'm moving over this clip, it mirrors it up here. So we know what we're watching. So this line right here is called a playhead. This like white line is called a playhead. This is basically your mouse for your timeline. This is how they call it scrub. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm scrubbing through the timeline. I'm basically like previewing it, going through, see where I want to make my cuts, see just what the video looks like. So that's what this white line is. It's your playhead. So you'll use this to preview your footage. So you see how I'm hovering over this. Now I see it right here. Now I'm about to hover over the game footage. Now it's showing that. So it shows you what clips you have. So any question with that so far? Okay. So yeah, again, in our import, first thing you want to do, import your clips. In your case, it'll be the stock footage. So just click, drag, go to the timeline right there. All right. So once we have our footage in our timeline, right? What now? Well, again, let's see our tools. We don't have that many. We only have like 4 tools, and the use the most are your cut tool and your select tool. So we've already used our select tool. That's just a regular mouse, right? Clicking, dragging, moving stuff, a regular mouse, right? Then we have our cut tool, exactly what it sounds like. It cuts your footage. So now you see it's a yellow line. So you see we have a white line and then we have a yellow line. So it's 2 lines, right? Why are there 2 lines? Well, this line again is playhead to preview your footage. This yellow line shows you where you want to make your cut or where you want to make your edit. So even though it's showing this, maybe I want to cut here, even though I'm not hovering over that part yet. Well, actually, it does hover over it. It does. But you could turn that off if you want. But it's in our case for just beginning, since we're at the beginning of it, we'll keep it on. But so the yellow line and white line, they both preview the footage, but this line tells you where you'll make your cuts. So notice I'm have my cut tool. So it's like this blade symbol. That's how you know it's cut tool because it says split and it's also a blade symbol. So that's how you know it's the cut. So let's say I want to just cut this video in half. So I have this video. Let's say I want to cut it in half, right? But before we actually do that, let me backtrack. Up here, this shows our time, right? This shows how long our sequence is. So every project has a sequence, and by sequence I mean it has a certain dimension and a certain length of time. So this video, we can see right here, this shows our time, how long the video is. So it shows us that it's 13 minutes and 29 seconds. So from the beginning to the end, we see it's okay, it's 13 minutes. So basically 13 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm sorry, 13 seconds and 30 milliseconds. So this isn't minutes, this is seconds. So this indicates our time of our timeline. So right here, this is the beginning, so it's 00. And then at the end, um, this clip actually ends at 13 seconds, but our timeline goes to 40 seconds. So let's say, like I said, we have 13 seconds and a 40 timeline. So let me just drag a bunch of footage and see what happens. More than 13 seconds. So it expands. So it's not like a limit, like I only can have 5 minutes of footage. No, you can keep adding footage. You can make a video up to an hour long as if you wanted to, or 5 hours long. Like documentaries are a long time. So you can have a documentary that's 2 hours long and fit it in here. So it automatically expands the timeline to whatever clip, however long you want your clip to be. And if you want to zoom out and zoom in, it's this toggle right here. This is what I'm using. And this is essentially important when you want to make your cuts, those fine cuts. So if we zoom all the way out, we're zoomed out. If we zoom all the way in, we're zoomed in. If you click this, this basically puts it in like the perfect position, right? Not too close, not too far. So let's say you're this and you want to go back to the standard, you could just click zoom to fit. So if it zooms it out to fit the timeline. So zooming in, zooming out. If I want to fit it to fit the timeline, just click that and it automatically uh, fixes it. So that's our a little bit about our timeline. Now, notice this video, there's no audio coming out of it. There's no music or no sound. Well, the stock footage, I don't believe they give you sound, unfortunately. But let's say you do have a clip, which in the future do your project, you will have a clip of sound. Um, I'm gonna go back to my device and get this. Let me see if this has sound. I don't. Let me get a sound with audio. So not sound either. Let me get a clip that I know for sure has sound. So, so that's like a little promo video I did for somebody. Um, so this clip has sound, and we know that because we kind of see the audio levels down here. When you first put a video in, it's small, so you can't tell, but you can extend it like this. But like I said, your stock footage, I don't believe they give you sound for those. They might. Let me see. I don't think they do. Yeah, these don't have sound. Um, Some of them have to have sound. Yeah. Okay. So for next week, we'll make sure we get you some footage that has sound because we will be playing with audio. But I don't know why stock footage won't give you that. But okay. But this video definitely has sound, and we see it because here are audio layers at the bottom. We see the waves. So let me play this sound. Just see how it is. Oh, I have to change my audio output. That's it. Be good sound. Okay. Yeah. CapCut. This is work. You know what? I'm gonna change this because it's better. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Right, like better. This AirPlay goes over Wi-Fi, so
Okay. Okay.
have more luck.
With the Logitech.
Like you might just have more luck using the HDMI port to cheers. Great.
Oh, okay. Oh, true, true, true.
Your AirPlay goes over Wi-Fi.
Right. Okay. So I'll okay. So let me take off. All right. Give me 1 second. I'm just reconnecting this. So would it be under iSense?
Yeah.
So all right, gotta change that. Thank you.
That shit is duplicate. Yeah.
Switch to this. So we're gonna have audio coming out of here because it's not registering right. But so my point was every video that you work with has obviously video and then it has audio. So you're gonna need to know how to manipulate both the audio and video levels. So for example, if somebody's doing like a narration over video, you're gonna need to know how to change the audio level. So you're gonna need to know how to, like, if you've ever seen videos of people talking or not, like their audio, they you can hear basically narration. So you hear them talking over video, but they're not actually in the video. That's how they achieve that through video editing. They move the audio over a different clip so you can uh, hear it, even though that's not the original video. So with this clip here, for example, so this clip has video and audio to it. So let's say we just do something simple. Let's say we just want to cut this video in half, right? So I'm gonna go to my cut tool, which is again under tools and split. And you can do this with your stock footage. So if you grab your stock footage, drag it in, and you can get any of the footage that you have, drag it in. And so what we can do is, let's say we want to make a cut. So let's say, let's say, okay, say we want to cut this video. So let's say right here before they like hug and embrace, we want to cut it. Go to your tools, click split, and then find the part before they embrace, and then cut it. And it's a small cut. You probably can't see it, but it did cut it. So now what we can do is we have to go back to our select tool to select, and then we can click our video, and then we can just backspace and delete it. And so now that part is cut out. So now it's just them hugging. We don't see the dramatic run to it or anything like that. It's just we get straight to the point. But you might want that. But just for the sake of showing you how to cut, that's what it is. So again, this split tool, you're just cutting. So I can make as many cuts as I want to. And now those are individual clips now. So you see, once I click this, this is one clip, this is another clip, this is another clip, this is another clip. So when you make cuts, they work on their own now. So they're independent clips now. So you got to remember that when you make edits, that it's not going to go on every clip. It's only going to go on the clips that you select because they're all separate clips. So let's try something else. Let's say we want to zoom into the video. Let's say we want to scale. Let's say we want to creep in. When you click your video, every video over here, these are your effect control settings. So these are settings where you can scale in. That's how you zoom in, zoom out. You can also type in the number. So let's say I want to do 100%. I'm obviously too close, but you could do that if you wanted to. Or you can zoom all the way out. You could do 50, but that'll get you black bars. Um, um, and so yeah, that'll get you black bars. So you want to fill up the whole screen, right? So I'm just showing you that's how you scale in and scale out like that. So 100% would obviously be the whole screen. So if you type in 100%, that's how you get it to fill the entire screen. But let's say you want to move it left and right. Again, make sure your video is clip that you want to use. So if you want to edit this clip, make sure that's clicked. If I want to edit this clip, I got to make sure it's highlighted in white so it's selected. That's how I know it's selected. Just because you hover over it doesn't mean it's selected. You have to select the actual clip. So I'm selecting this clip here, and let's say I want to position this, or let's say I want to rotate it. Everything's labeled. So when I see this rotate tab, I could just rotate it like this. So that's how you can rotate stuff. You can also type it in. So 270 degrees, if you wanted to, for some reason, 90, but it's better if it's 180, or rather 270. Uh, Actually, negative 180. But maybe zero. There we go. So zero. So yeah, that's how you rotate this. And then another good trick, if you mess up or anything, you want to go back to the previous edit, just press Control Z on your keyboard. On Mac is Command Z, but on the PC should be Control Z. So let's say you zoom in. Oops. Let's say you zoom in and let's say, nah, it's too close. I don't want to do it. You could Command Z and it goes back, or we can do it again and it goes back again. So Command Z will save you a lot of time It just basically uh, undoes the effect of the previous one. So undo, that's a shortcut for anything, not just video editing. If you're in like Google Docs or like anything, Command Z, that's how you undo stuff. So um, that's that in terms of cutting. Again, these are all separate clips now. So when I made those cuts, these all became separate clips. So I can delete these and I can delete this. And now they're separate clips. You'll notice they'll jump because I deleted some. So you could do a cool effect and like have things skip. So you can make it like this, like boom, boom, and that, cut that. So you could do like a time effect, boom, 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 something like that. Because it's all one continuous clip. So again, that's what that cut tool does. It literally cuts every clip into separate pieces, which allows you to delete it, edit it, whatever you want to do. But remember, it's all separate clips after you cut it. There's no longer one clip. Um, any questions with that so far? I know I kind of jumped around, but any questions with that part? All right. So bring some more stock footage here. So again, when you import something, you want to make sure you're clicking device so it knows to import from the device that you're on. So that's just something to keep in mind. Like if you're here, you might think, oh, where's the import button? You want to make sure you click device and then you can import. And then it can bring your files in like that. So that's importing clips, photos, audio. Let's say I want to import some music. I'm going to click import, do MP3. So I know music files are MP3 files. So I'm going to just search MP3, see what music I have in here. So, so music will look like this. And so now since we're dragging audio in, notice how it created another layer under my video. That's what happens. So when you have every file has a layer. So video files have this layer and audio files have the layer under it. And that makes sense, right? Because the music is under the video. When you're watching the video, the music is technically under it. So, for example, if I delete this, notice it's gone. But if I import or drag it back in, it's gonna create a new layer under it. You can't put it here. It won't let you put it right next to it because it's a different kind of file. It's an audio file. So every type of file gets a different layer. So let's play this. Let me see. So so you see how obviously that doesn't match like the vibe of the video, but in terms of just like the song itself, notice how it created a different layer under it. But let's say the music is too loud. What if we want to turn it down? All you got to do is click the video, I mean, click the music, come up here to basic, which is automatically there, and then just click volume. And you can change the volume. You can turn it up, or you could drag it down. So that's a little bit about audio. So again, I delete it. Let's say I bring another song in here. Um, and you guys should have songs too. Um, so here's again another song. Let's say I don't like the Drake song. I want to put a more upbeat song. Okay, cool. Drag this, bring it down. It automatically brings it under your video. But notice it kind of when I dragged it down, it left this gap here, which is not what I want because if I play it, it's not going to play any music because there's that gap. So you want to make sure you move your audio clip to the beginning of where you want the audio to start. I want it to start when the video starts. So I'll play this and go. That's the music. And notice too, like the video is longer. I mean, the video is shorter than the music. So this video ended. There's no more video, but the music's still going. So we want the music to stop when the video stops. So that's where the cut tool comes in handy. So you come to your tools, split, find out. It automatically gives you like a resistance to let you know where the video stops. So you don't have to pinpoint or guess. It automatically gives you like this resistance, and you know, okay, there's where it stops. I can make my cut, go back to my select tool, click my audio that I don't want, and delete it. So now it ends with the video, right? So it doesn't lead off like before. Another thing is you can make it lead off. You can always extend stuff. So let's say, let's cut that audio. Let's say I want to actually make it longer, last longer. I just drag it over, and now it's back to whatever it was before. But you can reduce, expand up to however long the audio is. So, but I wanted to stop when the video stops. So, so yeah, this is what a kind of a typical beginner timeline will look like. Your video and then your audio at the bottom. So this is where your music will go, narration, sound effects, all of that stuff goes here. And so, um, now let's say I want to play this video, but I want to keep the audio, but I don't want to hear it while I'm watching the video. There's this speaker right here. This mutes the track, so it keeps it there, so it's still in place. No edits were done, but it just mutes it. So if I want to play it, it's muted. I can't hear it. But if I want to bring it back, I can just click it again, and it unmutes it. So that can be handy because you don't. Let's say you want to not delete the music, but you want to have the music in the video, but you don't want to delete it. You just want to get a preview of the video. You could just mute the track, and now we get the video with no music. Um, Now we could do the inverse of that. We could hide the video and play the music only. So to do that, you'll see this eye right here. This eye basically is called it's hiding. It's called hidden, like hiding. So you're basically hiding the video. It's still there because if I unhide it, it comes back. But hiding it, it just makes it disappear while that's toggled. So now I could just play the audio without the video. If I want the video back, I just click that and it's back. Hide it, unhide it. Same thing, mute, mute, unmute, mute, unmute. So it just does it. It doesn't delete it. It just mutes it or hides it. So that could be useful. And then lastly, we have this lock tool. This lock tool basically locks the layers, so no edits can be done. No one can cut it. Nobody can add any effects. It's completely locked, which is important for if you're doing something you don't want to make any edits towards this video at all. Let's say you like it how it is, you don't want anything on it. You can lock it, which ensures that nothing will edit. So I can't even cut because it's locked. But if I unlock it, now I can make these cuts, all these cuts. But if it's locked, you can't do that. So yeah, so that's locking and unlocking. And same with the audio. So you can lock it, nothing be cut, no edits. It locks the layer completely. Nothing can be done to it. Any questions so far with that about importing, bringing clips in, cutting, um, any of that? All right. All right. So let's see what else. All right. So a little bit more about just this workspace. Here, let's see. Okay. So now we'll get in a little bit about like audio. And the thing with audio is when you make your final project, I mean, for the sake of this class, you can use like rap music or music like let's say you have a Beyonce or Rihanna song, you can use it. But when you're actually doing a video, like posting on YouTube, you can't take an artist's song and put it in your video without their permission or without paying for it. So if I were to put that Drake song under this and put it on YouTube, YouTube would probably flag it and give me like a copyright ban because I didn't get permission from the original owner of the song. So that's why anytime you post on YouTube, let's say it may or might not catch you. Sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it does. But if it catches you using a song that is not owned by you, so if you use like a popular mainstream song, YouTube will most likely flag it because it's copyright. Because YouTube will be in trouble if you use a song that you didn't get permission to use. So what CapCut has though, they have their own database where you can use their music for free and you won't get flagged, but you can't use any Rihanna or anything like that. It won't even show it. So for example, if I type in like I don't know Kendrick Lamar, you won't get a Kendrick Lamar song. You're gonna get like a remix or a tight beat or something because you don't have the rights to use. Now, when you guys do your project, for us, since we're just in a classroom, we're not making any money off of it, or we're not selling it to anybody. It's fine if we use it here. But in the real world, when you're actually developing a project that somebody's paying for, you can't use outside music like that. You have to get permission, or they could sue you. They probably won't, but they could. So just keep that in mind. You post a video because I had that happen. Um, yeah, I was editing something. I used like a popular song, and YouTube took the audio out. That's why I don't know if you guys remember on TikTok, like when you used to post videos, it used to mute the song. Like it would show, it was like, wait, where'd the song go? But TikTok got in trouble for that because they weren't supposed to. Now you can, but before they were having a lot of copyright issues. That's why TikTok would like mute certain videos if it had like a certain song. But to avoid that, CapCut has its own database. So like I said, this Kendrick Lamar song, they won't give me a real song. So if they give me a tight beat, so I can drop it under, and we can see what it sounds like. I'll get that. Yeah. So this is not even a real Kendrick Lamar song. It's some beat somebody made. So that's what I'm saying. They won't let you use that. But I'll show you guys how to bring outside music in, which isn't good. But for the sake of the project, I want it to be fun and creative. So I want you to use music that you actually like, not just this type of stuff. Uh, but like I said, they have music that you can use from original artists that gave CapCut permission to use. So it basically TikTok paid a bunch of artists to make music strictly for CapCut. Sometimes I keep saying TikTok, CapCut. Um, CapCut paid a bunch of artists to create music for their platform so anybody can use it. They call it royalty free or copyright free music, meaning you won't get in trouble for using it. It's for your consumption, it's for your use. So if you click audio and you click music, and let's say you want to do hip hop, they have some hip hop artists that you probably never heard of, but it's free music that you can use that you might like, and you won't get sued for it. So let's say hip hop. Let's see what we got. Um, I don't know what this is gonna sound like, but yeah. So some of this music isn't that bad. Like that's a pretty decent song. So you can find some cool little hidden gem songs like that in here. But I just want you to know, like, if you try to look for like a popular song, you won't find it in here. You have to get it off YouTube, download it, put it in here. So keep that in mind. Um, so yeah, audio again, music right here. Just uh, and another cool thing, they have this thing called AI music, and basically what you can do is you can type what type of song you probably want, and it'll produce it. So let's say since this video was like filmed in like a corn grass field or something, let's say I want to say, okay, find me a song that is upbeat I would say upbeat, jazzy, uh, for a music video. And you could literally get that specific and it'll find you a couple options. So once I type that, okay, so find me a song that is upbeat, jazzy for a music video. And then press generate. And let's see what happens. So they gave me a bunch of songs based off what I typed in that description. So let's see if these songs match that vibe that I wanted, upbeat, jazzy for a music video. So I have to give it a minute to produce all the results. But this can come in handy if you don't want to scroll through the music catalog and find music. You can just type whatever you want in your head, and it'll give you the best results. So here's one. Yeah. So I mean, it doesn't fit the vibe of the video, but it's jazzy and it's upbeat. So that's what I'm saying. You have so many options. So that's what that AI music thing, like a lot of people are like afraid of AI because they don't know what it does or like if it's complicated, but it's not. It's just a shortcut. Just go to AI music and type in what you want, and it'll give you a bunch of different stuff. You can say find scary music um, that is slow, and then I generate it, and it's gonna give me scary music that's slow. So yeah. Yeah, so it takes a little bit to generate it all. But okay, so creepy shadow music. Delete that. That's not that creepy, but well, it's kind of creepy. But if you don't like that one, they have other ones. So you can eerie music, all types of stuff. So that AI music option will probably help you a lot for your video. And then you have sound effects. So back in the day when movies needed sound effects like a car door, well, you could replicate that. But let's say like a monster, like a dinosaur like roaring like from Jurassic Park. Back in the day, they had to actually make the sound effects and like have somebody record it. But in CapCut, just type whatever sound effect you want and it'll pop up. So if I want a thunderstorm, let's say you're shooting a short film and you want to create a thunderstorm atmosphere, but there's no thunderstorm going on, but you want a thunderstorm vibe, you can search in sound effects thunderstorm and it'll give you some. Uh, okay. So type in thunder, give you thunder. So your clip, if you got, or if you want rain sound effect, like I use this. So let's say you got a rain scene and you want to make it realistic and you don't actually have rain, you could find that sound. You could do the craziest sounds, like car door or a car crash. Let's say you have a car crash scene and you want to imitate the sound of a car crash. This might be loud. Yeah, something like that. That sounds realistic. Or what else? Somebody getting punched in the face. Like when they use those movies, like fighting movies, obviously they're not really getting punched in the face. They're using sound effects. So uh, punch sound effect. Let me see. Uh, so those that, yeah, any sound effect. Let me search one more. See if they have uh, a jingle bells. Yeah, if you wanted to like an opening Christmas scene, you do like a Jingle Bell song. So this saves a lot of time. Like everything is done right here. You don't have to go anywhere. So they have sound effects for all that stuff. So that's um we don't get into copyright, but this is also a cool feature. We won't get into it because it's kind of complicated, but they can actually check your video and see if it violates copyright. And then it'll tell you, which is good because it could save you if you're making like a film or a documentary, like in the real world. But we're doing some just like class. But if you're actually producing something, making some money off of it, this can help you because it can detect if you're using copyright, if it's fraudulent in your video and you're using something, which is good. Um, so yeah, that's a little bit about audio. Like I said, just to recap, music, you can't use any of that mainstream stuff. You got to use stuff from the catalog that they give you. Uh, AI music helps you, gives you a shortcut to find music that you like. Just type it in. AI will find some options, and then sound effects, different sound effects that you can use. Uh, yeah. Okay. So yeah, so that's cool. That's cool. All right. Any questions about audio stuff? All right. So let's see. So we'll probably spend like 10 more minutes in CapCut, and then I'll show this last video, and then we should be done for today. Um, so the last thing that I want to mention, make sure I'm following them. Okay. Okay. The last thing I want to talk about is text. So like if you're giving your project a title, so this video right here is this is a music video. So let's say I wanted to put at the because your video has to have a title. The final video that you guys make it has to have a title of some sort. So this title, it could be something basic or it could be something creative and unique. But for the sake of the example, I'm gonna just title this, his name is David, so David's music video. So if you want to create a title, everything is labeled up here. So if you want to import something, click import. If you want to get audio or music, click audio. If you want to get text, click text. So text right here. So you get this box that's the default text. Again, you remember I said every uh, part of everything you import gets a different layer. So your audio gets another layer, your video gets another layer, your text also gets another layer. So if I click this and drag it, right now it says default text. So we haven't edited anything yet. But let's change this. So right here in this box, as soon as you click it, you get this tab that says basic, and then you can change what you wanted to say. So initially it was default text. I'm gonna just name this David music video. Now that's pretty hard to